Hey guys, it's Sandy. I want to talk about resistant starch. This is maybe something you've heard of before or maybe not. I have really started studying it because of what I have found that how good it is for your gut bacteria. It feeds your gut microbiome and it's really important for us to have. But what is it? How do you get it into your body? Well, let me tell you. My husband went to the doctor and he had some blood work done and he was talking to the doctor about meds kind of thing. And he told the doctor that he's not taking his cholesterol meds and just they're statins. They have a lot of side effects. And the doctor was like, okay, that's fine. Let's talk about how we control it with diet. And the doctor sat down with him, spent time and said, this is the way I do it. And he told him about the green smoothies and what for us to put in them and all of that. And then he also talked about resistant starch because resistant starch helps lower cholesterol. So that right there sparked my interest. I'd heard about this for years before. I'd put our bread in the freezer knowing that it would help with resistant starch, and you take it out and heat it up and, toast it, whatever, and it's going to be good for your gut bacteria. It's like a prebiotic, probiotic in there. Well, I really started studying more just because I wanted to know the effects on cholesterol just to help my husband and what we needed to do. So you know what regular starch is. So white bread and rice and pasta and potatoes that have just been baked and eating them right away. Those go into the small intestine and they are dissolved very quickly into your body. It's turned into glucose. It raises your blood sugar levels. You get energy from that for your body. And then what is left over is usually stored as fat. Carbs are not bad. It's just these are used in that way. But resistant starch is different. So resistant starch is actually, it goes through your small intestine. It's not dissolved there. It goes into your large intestine where it starts fermenting slowly and starts building that really good gut bacteria. So you have a healthy gut microbiome whenever you eat resistant starches. Resistant starch has shown that it helps with blood sugar control, not those big spikes. It helps with helping you feel fuller longer. It will help with digestion and elimination. It helps lower cholesterol. And it also helps with a healthy colon, which helps decrease your risk of colon cancer. So the cholesterol was the big thing that I was looking at. And I even looked it up. And the National Institutes of Health have done studies that show that it really does decrease cholesterol. So what are some of the foods that are resistant starch and how can you get it into your body? So green bananas, and I'm not saying just go and get some green bananas. It probably hurts your belly. But bananas have just a little bit of green on them. So rather than being really yellow or really ripe with all the spots on them, you don't want to eat them at that point. You can, but as far as trying to get resistant starch, you don't want to eat them at that point. That'll just have a big blood sugar spike. Instead, a banana that is on the peak of ripeness, it's just ripe. Those are the ones that have resistant starch. Also are beans, like black beans, kidney beans, that stuff. Beans and legumes and nuts and seeds and whole grains are great resistant starch. Oats have resistant starch. And also whenever you cook and then cool your potatoes, your pasta, your rice, and bread. So what happens is it goes through something called redegradation, if I'm saying that word right, and it just forms like those ice crystals and it forms that resistant starch. And then whenever you heat it up, you can eat it and you've got that resistant starch, that good gut bacteria, or that good prebiotics going into your gut and making good gut bacteria. So when the rule of thumb is cook, cool, freeze, and then reheat. You don't have to eat it cold. So don't get out and think, well, I got to eat my potato cold. No, eat it, reheat it, enjoy it. And this is the other thing, you guys. We have to live life and enjoy life. So if you make pasta and you're ready to eat it, just eat it. But then you can think about like other meals. So you could make enough of a pot that you could save for another meal and put it in the freezer and get it out and have dinner, easily sometime. Or making baked potatoes. I like to put sweet potatoes or baked potatoes in the Instant Pot, make them, put them in the refrigerator and be able to use them during the week. As far as bread, I like to make bread. You might be somebody that likes to buy it. Bread like Ezekiel bread, you can even buy that in the freezer section. That's really good. It's a sprouted bread if you don't make bread. I like to make bread. Here, look, I just made this. Look at all the bubbles in there. This is sourdough. I made it this morning, put it together, and I came home and it rose all the way to the top. Rose really quick. So I like sourdough. I like to just mill up the wheat myself and get that really good whole grain. But what I do then is put the bread after we eat, whatever we want of it, I put it, slice it up, put it in the freezer. Super easy then to go out, reheat, make it a toast. You can put on your butter and honey, whatever you want to do. It's just a good way to get that resistant starch into your gut and make those really good probiotics and prebiotics in there. So the bottom line is that resistant starch is good for your overall gut health. So if you've got all of these good things happening by eating resistant starch, wouldn't it be easy for you to, instead of trying to get rid of food groups, because I think that we need to think of stuff like, is it made or is it, grown on a farm or made in a factory? Because, stuff like potatoes and rice are not bad. I know that people have villainized it because it's a carb, but it's not bad. It's something that's grown. We can plant them and they grow and they can be good for us. So instead of thinking of you have to take everything out of your diet, think portion control still, but think, how can I put things into my diet that are going to be good, that are going to feed my gut microbiome? I want to be able to eat from all the food groups and not be somebody that will only eat from one or two of the food groups. I want to make sure that I've got good proteins and carbs and fats coming in, because God made all this stuff for it to work together for our bodies to be healthy. So if you want a healthier gut microbiome, which also makes your brain better too, because they call this the first brain and the second brain. So if you want a healthier gut microbiome, then think about doing resistant starch so that you can better control your blood sugar levels. You can help decrease your risk of colon cancer. You can help lower your cholesterol, and you can help your body have good digestion and elimination. A lot of healthy stuff can go into resistant starch. All right, you guys, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to share what I had learned and what I'm going to be doing. Until next time, I'm out.